Hey everybody, and welcome back to Ellie Knows Rocks. I am standing in Stanton, Arizona today, and I am about to show you guys an entire placer mining operation. Start to finish, geologic exploration, a wee bit, digging up dirt, classifying it, running it through a sluice, and then eventually showing you guys the gold. Thank you guys so much for being part of my adventure, and let's go see what we find. Now, I am on a claim that I'm the geologic consultant on. I met a lovely friend, Ike, through mutual friends, and he had me come out and examine some of the rocks and the placer deposits in the area to kind of help him figure out where would be the best places for him to find gold. First off, let's meet Ike, claim owner and miner extraordinaire, and I am honored to be consulting for him on this property. He has also become a good friend. Dan, myself, and Ike are all headed down to the digging spot. I've walked this property quite a lot now looking for some of the best places to find gold, and this layer is definitely it. They have definitely moved a lot of dirt since I was first down here examining this layer, and now's my chance to see if it's changed and if we still have some gold in it.
Stuff has gold in it because we've run tests on it.
Yeah, you've done this layer.
Yeah, we've done that layer. We've done the topsoil because we're still running into, I'm still seeing that old pond type material where it's set up after it was buried.
Yeah.
So this has gold in it. This is the conglomerate.
This is the
that you told me to dig up because it had gold in it. Guess what? It had gold in it.
got gold.
I think man put that stuff back on top of the conglomerate because they couldn't dig it back in the 20s or whatever.
I would imagine so.
They left it because it was too hard, but they covered it up. But they couldn't get the micro gold out of it. So that's what we're getting.
Could be. Or where were you saying you were hitting hard pan at?
See the white rock starting to show up? This is a dead giveaway for the hard pan to start showing up. You can see this.
On there? Yeah.
It's got that glacier on it. So, but we can take a back one, uncover some of this. But the rock layer seems to get thicker the more I'm going that way. It started out at a couple of feet thick, and now it's almost 4 foot.
Well,
So
maybe the river layer is getting thicker, but maybe it's just because everything slopes down too and there's got a big deep.
yeah.
Yep. Hopefully, you know.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. Dig deeper than that hard dirt. Yeah.
Hey, I didn't say it was easy.
You're extremely helpful.
Wow.
Yeah, don't do something easy.
Look at the green in that, man.
Yeah. That's the same green that's in the conglomerate.
Yeah.
It's all mixed in there.
Oh, pretty.
Yep.
Amazing amount of chloride in there. Sweet. Someone handed me keys. I have keys. This is a bad idea. We're gonna go drive that. Yes. I am just getting a feeling for the controls because it's been a little while. Just making sure I remember things. Now at this point it would have been a really good idea if I would have had it in gear to go forward. I soon figured it out. It'd been a hot minute since I'd been on a backhoe, so Ike decided to run shotgun just to keep an eye on things and to keep me company. Plus it is his equipment and I didn't want to mess anything up. Now geologically speaking, let's talk about the area for just a second. What we're on right now is a gigantic alluvial fan out in Stanton, Arizona. The biggest mine in the area that was once a small commercial mining operation is the Octave, right beside Potato Hill, where they used to pull potato-sized gold nuggets off of the hill. No metal detector required, just your eyes. But there's something a little bit odd about the ground here. You would think in a hard pan area it would be very difficult to find gold, but the conglomerate that we're in hosts our gold.
There you go. You're plenty high.
There you go. Okay, take that bank off.
puddles on the left side.
Yep.
You smell it? He smells it. You can smell that earth,
Earthiness.
that dirt.
Yeah.
Now we've determined that the layer on top of the riverbed layer that's on top of the conglomerate layer is probably actually old dump and tailings piles from original mining back in the 20s. The processes back then allowed smaller, finer gold to seep through their equipment because that's not what they were looking for. They were looking for big gold nuggets. So all of the finer, smaller stuff got left behind, and that's part of what is in this layer. Now, the riverbed, through testing, contains a little bit less gold, but still some fine gold.
If there wasn't a bunch of big boulders in your way, you'd be fine. All right?
The best gold that we've found is in the hard pack conglomerate layer. Super white and very dense and hard to dig through. And that being said, no wonder people back in the day didn't want to try to dig this up. Their equipment wasn't near as strong as it is nowadays. Plus, doing this by hand would have been nearly impossible. Also, back then they weren't looking for fine gold, they were looking for nuggets, easy to find nuggets. And like I was saying, so far this layer has really paid off. So I hope we see gold today.
Sweet. Now should I pick some up? Are you still filming me?
Once I dig off enough dirt for a couple bucket loads, we're gonna load it up and screen it through the grizzly. I'm glad for the most part that I didn't forget how to run a bucket. I lined myself up and scooped myself up some dirt. Now we have decided to do an extremely big run, one of the biggest that we've ever done. Now I'm not allowed to say how many actual yards that we ran, because hey, this is not my claim. But just know it was a lot. Now before we actually get to dumping the dirt that I dug up, I'm going to talk about the grizzly that he's created. Ike has fashioned a two-step grizzly. This is fantastic if you want to save time. You have your original large bars that are going to get off all of those really big boulders, and then you have your screen that's going to classify it down even smaller. When the dirt is dropped at the perfect angle, it has just enough time for the little amounts of clayey dirt that's attached to the rocks to tumble off of there and hopefully remove all the gold from those big rocks and put it in this sand pile before those rocks hit the ground on the other side. One other thing that's really cool about this particular grizzly is this vibrator right here. This is a high-powered vibrator. It helps shake off all the little particles of dirt so they can be put in this pile, scooped up, loaded in the dump truck, and put in the hopper. Now, after we've collected all the dirt, I did my best to follow directions, pour it where it needed to be poured, and not hit the grizzly. That was very important. Now, once your pile is big enough under the grizzly, you can scoop up the dirt and throw it in the dump truck. So I think you get the picture of the process. You dig the dirt, you screen the dirt, you scoop the dirt up again, and then you put the dirt in the dump truck, and then you take it to actually be mined. For all of these things, I was asked to please not hit any of them as I was working. I was a good girl though. There was no hitting the dump truck, nothing got damaged or mangled, so all was well and good. Now this is the last bucket load for the dump truck, and we're all about to head back up to the main mine site to actually get mining. Ike took the dump truck, I'm in the backhoe, and Dan is right behind me filming me in the little side-by-side. Now if I had remembered to shift the backhoe, everything would have gone a lot faster. But regardless, I'm about to do something I haven't done.
Driven one of these before.
Yeah, Dan didn't catch the never.
I guess today she's not going to be a virgin any longer.
That's right.
Get in there. Okay,
Are you gonna?
Oh well.
Okay, so this one here has no emergency brake. Maybe you don't want to film yet.
We'll cut that part out.
Yeah, cut that part out where you can
Brake, clutch.
hold the brake, push in the clutch, put it neutral, go for neutral, hold the brake,
Dang it.
turn the key on.
Oh, is
Gotta
it-
jiggle it a little bit.
Are you sure?
There we go. Okay, now I'm not gonna get in there because this could be taking my life in my own hands.
Don't miss a shift.
Miss, I don't have to go very far, right?
Well, we'll hook a U-turn at Stanton and come back.
Now what?
You can drive a stick shift, right?
Yeah, that's what my Jeep is.
Okay, well,
But like, I'm still holding the clutch. I know.
But
that
when you shift these, you don't use the clutch.
Oh,
And if you miss, you stop and start over.
yeah. but we're not gonna go there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's another lesson for a different day.
Yeah, that's a lesson for a different day.
Cool,
So
okay.
in low, I want you to pull forward about 3 or 4 feet. Let your clutch out a little bit and it'll go into gear as you there.
Okay.
Okay. Move forward about 3 or 4 feet.
Okay.
Little roll, maybe a little roll, not maybe a little.
They usually come in gear right at the top.
Whoa. Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Okay, so now then, this is going to be a timing kind of thing.
Okay.
I want you to back up when you can look in that mirror when you can see that dirt pile. Okay? I want you to bump the back tires up against the dirt pile, and then I want you to get the brake and stop, put your clutch and the brake in at exactly the same time.
Okay.
Then we'll put it neutral, then we'll dump the load out.
All right. Cool.
Good. You didn't bump it?
I didn't hit it. I can't. Well, Dan's arm's in the way.
Well, oh yeah, right. Okay, yeah. Okay, go forward.
Oh, I got forward again?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Wait till it bumps into the pile. You'll feel it.
Okay. I feel it.
Okay, you're good.
That was it.
I felt the back end go up. Neutral. Neutral. Okay. And back. Okay. This is up and down. Okay, so now then, let your foot off of the clutch only. Okay, now it'll go up and down, but you want to reach out that window and get that rope.
Oh my gosh.
Get to the end of the rope. There you go. Okay, you're close enough. Now then, take her up. When you run out of rope, both hands and pull that lever down and you'll dump the load out.
I really hope you all got a big kick out of watching me doing this because I was laughing my butt off. I had never done this before and it was something that was exciting to me just because I hadn't done it before. But successfully, I put the dump truck in gear, reversed, and then dumped a load of dirt out. Not a big feat, but I had fun. First time ever in a dump truck, using a dump truck, all of the above. But I had fun doing it. Now, I'm just moving our cart that has our buckets in it that we're going to use for our clean out of the way. And Ike is about to start putting dirt in our hole so that the excavator can load it into the hopper and then into the trommel. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this area of what should be really rich pay dirt is going to pay off for me. Doing the original walk around for that area, I had really high hopes. The few bucket tests that I did were awesome, and some runs that they have been doing are really good. And I'm really hoping this next run, since they're further into the conglomerate layer, is going to go really, really positively. Now, sometimes geology is just swag, a scientific wild-ass guess. Until you start testing the area, you don't really know what you're going to get. Now, all of the earmarks say, we're going to get some good gold. Ike is filling up the hole. And this is his equipment. He's ripped the skid plate off of the backhoe before, so we didn't want me to be doing that and slide in accidentally. So, yeah. This right here is the hopper. The hopper is gonna feed the trommel. Trommel's gonna come down here. It's gonna go through the trommel. It's gonna roll around. The trommel's gonna spit out things on this side, just regular gravel. And then our gold and black sand is all gonna come down through here. The water and all the sludge is gonna shoot out into the pond. Here's our hopper box. Going down here to a little 2-slot grizzly. Running into the trommel, and look at that. Firing it up. We're not running any dirt right now. The water's brown because it's the dirt that was left in the hoses after the generator was turned off and the water settled.
We have to have that much over the top of these sluices in order to cause the vortex.
Okay, so 1.5 inches.
We gotta have 1.5 inches.
And what's your angle?
1.5 inches to the foot.
Degrees?
You know, you could just use that app you have on your phone
I'm trying to get to
where
it.
you set it on the edge.
Oh no, I need 7.
That sounds about right. About 7 or 8 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And we have liftoff. Well, it's starting up to run the trommel. Now I can play with miniature excellent. Now for anybody who would like to take a jab at me for my equipment running skills, you guys feel free to do so. The first time that I ran big equipment, I was 20 years old, and it was in Oregon, helping log different pieces of property, creating roads, digging up dirt, that kind of thing. And then on and off in different mining operations throughout the years. So, to say the least, it's been a hot minute since I've used an excavator to load any kind of dirt into something technical. I'm having a good time. Now, I'm going to say this to any of the females out there that want to do something that they might not be sure of. Just go do it. It doesn't matter whether it's a boys' sport or not. Just have fun. And if people make fun of you, who cares? At least I'm out there doing it, and I'm not an armchair observer. Now, I definitely wouldn't call myself a smooth operator, but I wasn't doing too terrible bad, especially for the fact that I really didn't want to hit the equipment on anything. Now, for the rest of the people that would like to bitch about how slow the water is or any of the above, you go for it. But this has been a proven system. The hopper works great, feeding the dirt into the trommel at the right amount of time, giving it an adequate chance to be washed off and really, really clean the rocks. You have to load the dirt just a little bit on the slow side because the timing has to be just right. Once the pile gets a little bit bigger than this pile, I had to back off because I was loading it too quickly. Not to say that I am a speedy excavator operator at all. That's just the nature of this particular hopper. And the little grizzly that was down inside of here was doing a great job as well to collect any larger rocks that I managed to scoop in. Now seriously, this is how well this thing works. Look how clean the gravel is coming out of that trommel. And that's the way it's supposed to be. A trommel is supposed to work well enough to make sure that all of the gravel gets cleaned of all of the dirt. The dirt's going to contain your black sand and all of your gold. If that is stuck to the rocks, then you're just spitting out gold from the back of the trommel. One of the things you have to keep in mind is that you do want constant water flow over your sluice. If you get any dry spots or uneven flow, you don't get the proper eddies that trap the gold in the sluice. And for those of you asking about the pond and the water usage, this is a recirculating pond. None of the water is fresh. There's a flocculant agent in the water to keep the dirt sinking. Now, we do have a purpose for sticking our hands in dirty water. We're making sure that the proper vortex or the proper eddies are being created within the sluice. We want as much recovery as possible. Speaking of recovery, look how clean the gravel is. This means that this entire setup is set up so well. All of the gravel is getting cleaned, which means more gold will be in our sluice. Now here's our first look.
But that's why we wanted that 2-inch space in here. Because it just likes to drop that gold right here. It just likes doing it. So, you know. Oh, look here.
Look at that! Oh my gosh, it's all at the bottom right there. In the corner. Yeah, look at that guy.
Well, now that's what you put in the machine.
Yeah. Look at it. Oh, that one's big. Her.
If you got it.
It's under my fingernail. Hang on.
You sure you got
Yeah,
it?
it's right there. I can feel it. It's literally under my fingernail. Oh my gosh. Look at it. Heck yeah. But there's a ton of them.
Uh-oh, we got another ton. We got another ton.
Oh, well, there's a lot of pieces. Oh, wow. So they were making fun of me because I kept saying we had a ton of gold. It's just an expression. And I was having fun picking through, getting all of the little chunks I could see. Ridiculous.
There you go.
Look at them. There's a bunch in there.
In here. It's just here. We always find a few of these.
A couple nails.
There's a nail down there.
Lucky us.
I find there's so many
Got some
nails.
right here.
Them tires really like nails.
After we ran yards and yards and yards of dirt, this is what our cleanup is starting to look like. Now we're gonna disassemble the entire thing and get all this gold into some buckets. It's so exciting to see our hard work pay off. And taking this entire thing apart, whew, what a hassle and a pain in the butt. And I had just dislocated one of my ribs, so I was not feeling great. But we all pitched in regardless. Many hands make for light work.
Right.
Look how cool that is. Okay, now I can scoop it up a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, I need like a little plasticky shovel. Dang.
Found the nail mat.
Oh my gosh. This is the nail covered mat. Wow, there's tons.
Yeah, I'd say.
We're not done either. Check this out.
Things were out here. Is that a... What is that? Ooh.
Button thing.
Hmm.
Garbage!
GG and Co.
I don't know what that is. Don't throw it away. Anyways, when I was done looking at all of the nails, of course, then I got back to work. But I really like the garbage. I don't know why. I'm hoping to find some awesome artifact. And then we get Dan to help. So we're getting Dan to wash out mats. And yes, I am bent over like this because I can barely use my arm at this point. I am being uber careful with the black sand in this trough.
Especially the don't spill part.
And yes, we have very specialized tools for cleaning out all the black sand with gold. Oh, that is freaking heavy, yeah. Holy crap. We got all the gold here. Oh my gosh. Did you see it? Did you see it all?
I saw it. Look at...
Oh, look how pretty it is. Now, once we were done using all of our specialized tools to clean out the sluice, we run water through it after we've already gotten everything out, and this is just what has been left over from us dropping dirt in it or dirt that's been pushed off to the side. All of this gold. It all runs down, gets stuck in that black bucket down there. But look what happens. Look what we would be missing if we didn't get all of the gold or wash it all out. Man, oh man, that's cool. A lot of gold. This is the last bit of dirt being washed out of that tote into a bucket. And once we were done and everything was cleaned out, we put it all back together to get ready for the next run. It's a very lengthy process, and we haven't even started cleaning up all of the gold in the buckets. These are all the buckets from the run of concentrate. And they're gonna get dried out, classified. All kinds of good stuff. Let me see how much gold we've got in them. Here are all the buckets of concentrate that have been dried out and classified. And I'm about ready to run them through a gold cube. Check it out. This is a gold cube. We're gonna run all this material through the gold cube. Turn off the mats to get rid of air bubbles and stuff so that the gold doesn't escape on air bubbles. Now, if you're not exactly sure how a gold cube works, I encourage you to go look it up. The system is quite ingenious. One of the biggest points of this is the gold is forced to go underneath a waterfall and trough, so that there's really a very small chance that the gold is just going to skip across the top of the water. The waterfall and trough breaks that surface tension so the gold actually sinks, and then the mats grab the gold and hold on to it. One of the housekeeping things that is quite important is changing out your catch tray. I kind of let mine get overfilled a lot during this process. And this is just the dirt that the gold cube is separating from the gold. Now the gold cube is a closed circuit, meaning that we fill up a tub of water, we use a recirculating pump to pump the water around and around, so when it gets muddy, it gets very, very muddy. And this way we get to reuse our water.
Actually preparing myself for your excitement.
Anytime.
I've already seen it. I know where to look.
We're taking the top off of the cube, and hopefully the whole top tray is just gold. Yellow gold. Oh, wow.
And the whole top tray is yellow gold.
Oh my gosh. Oh, wow.
It's all down in there too.
Holy crap, that's insane. Look at that.
Biggest
Whoa.
run I've ever seen came down to about right here, came up, and came back down to right here. About half the machine. We've done way more. And
Yeah, and it's gonna cut, it's gotta be down here too as well, because there's a ton of it in here. Oh my god! Wow! Whoa, look at all the chunky stuff! Whoa! Yeah, some of those are leaves, ignore those.
the bigger chunk
Look at
is
'em.
gonna be down in here.
Down in there?
Yep.
Oh my goodness
If
sake.
there's gold in the next cube, we're in trouble.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Look at that. Oh, wow. 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 Oh, wow. This is crazy. Wow, have you seen anything like this before? An entire top gold cube tray just full of gold. This is spectacular. It's really exciting as a geologist to have pinpointed an area that was going to have so much gold. Oh my gosh. This is just washing down the first tray. Really cool. I'll be feeding the blue wheel now.
Too bad this thing is big.
Oh, it looks beautiful. A gold wheel is an excellent way to separate the gold from the black heavy sand. The way this works is it works almost in a corkscrew type fashion. As you can see, it almost looks hypnotizing, where the gold is heavy enough that it climbs up through the water, spraying the black sand that is just slightly lighter down. And as the gold travels around, it falls through this hole in the center and then comes out into a little cup in the very back of the blue wheel machine. This is a fully enclosed system, and the water we're using is recirculated. Also, the black sand, which will contain flour gold, falls into a separate tub that is then processed later. And here's the cup in the back of the machine. There's gold in it! There's gold here too! There was a lot of material to process through the blue wheel, but the payoff is definitely worth it. Now the gold in this cup is all from the top tray of the gold cube that you first saw. This has got to be a couple ounces of gold right here. Now what we did to make this process a little bit easier is actually screen the gold through a small screen and started picking out the large pickers. And picking nuggets. No, they're not nuggets, sorry. They're large flakes out of this. Isn't that cool? This is so neat. Large pickers. Oops. This is so neat. It's a whole freaking pan. That's like ounces. That is so awesome. When I finished grabbing all of the pickers that I could grab, we ended up getting, I think, 92 in total pickers and one full-size nugget of over a gram, which was amazing, that big guy there on the right. This was so exciting to see all of our hard work pay off. I mean, just look at the gold in these pans. Plus, we had some mystery metals show up in this round as well. This has been an absolutely fantastic run. Look at these. I know we got all the other ones too, but holy crap. Those are huge. Isn't that amazing? Wow, yes. Using a UV light. Look at everything that glows.
Oh, I see it. It actually turned white.
Yeah, that is all of our mystery metal glowing. Wow. And we dried out our gold in the sun, and then we're weighing it out. So satisfying. And this right here is only a portion of what we actually grab.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you
wait.
so much.
You are more than welcome.
This
And
guy is awesome. He is amazing. He is literally miner extraordinaire, just like I said.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, you're more than welcome anytime you want to come out.
See, we hear this, witnesses. I can come back out here and look for gold.
And bring a metal detector.
Ah, so that will be a video for a complete another time. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this adventure. I hope you learned something, and I hope you loved seeing that amount of gold in the pans. Oh my gosh, that was fantastic and amazing. Hands down, the most gold that I've ever helped find, ever panned through, all of the above. I hope you guys thought it was awesome. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you on the next one.